Yes, I have another new wallpaper. As I said, there's a rule on this channel that every video will feature a new wallpaper. So we'll see what runs out earlier, the list of wallpapers, which I have in the thousands, or the list of ideas for this channel. But this rule will only be enforced, and I'm planning to only enforce it in the last 20 or so videos because I never numbered them, and I think I forgotten what wallpapers I had. I marked the ones that I used in the last 20 videos, and from those 20 videos to the present, in the future, we're gonna enforce this rule. There only will be unique wallpapers on this channel. I don't know, just for fun. By the way, this one is from a Studio Ghibli movie, if I'm not mistaken. I just reverse searched it, and it says here it's from Tales from Earthsea in 2025. It's a movie I have never heard of, to be honest. Tales from Earthsea. It's a 2006 anime fantasy film. Alright. I haven't watched it, but if you are interested from where this beautiful landscape stems, it's from that movie. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video lies in the following. A new year has dawned upon us a month and a half ago, but a new year happened. And a new year for a lot of people means New Year's resolution. It means eating healthier, going to the gym more, finally starting the business that they dreamt of their whole life, sending the kids to college, buying a new pet or something. But there's another activity that happens every start of the year, and it lurks in the shadow, and this activity is paying the taxes. What I had to do is I had to log in my bank account, and then I had to download all of my statements for the last year, which sounds simple enough, right? So as I opened my bank's dashboard, and this is just the replication of their dashboards locally, I usually would click right here, which would open this pop-up, and it would ask me what format would you like for your report. All right, so I would usually click the PDF format, and then I noticed something, that for all of the really old reports, I would get an error, and I would have like 20 of them, because we are already halfway through February. Basically, all of my January reports and half of the February reports were not available. I thought to myself, well, that this is weird, until I saw this right here. Most probably other people had the same issue, so they just put one little sentence saying, oh, we are unable to guarantee search results that will include statements older than 1 year. All right. So the alternative was to download it in the TXT format, which, to be honest, was even worse. I didn't have any real data, and basically it looked like a simplified notepad document. So the text document wasn't working. The PDF document was working only halfway. So I had to find an alternative in order to download all of these statements. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only showing 10 results. And if I filter through the whole year, I would get like hundreds of them. Instead of clicking it by hand and spending probably the whole weekend on it, I spent the whole weekend on building a script that would automate this for me. And it's a really cool script, so how it looks like. What the script does, it opens our back dashboard in a real browser, where I would log in manually. I would go to the statements page. The bank script would filter statements to a date range, and then for each statement, it would open the details page and it would save a screenshot. And it would skip screenshots that already exist. I won't go too deep in the code, but basically, all right, these are the imports. I'm using Playwright, which is like an automation tool that controls Chromium like a user. You can click, you can type, you can wait, and you can take screenshots like we are doing. Everything else not needed. No, this is the configuration. As I said, I'm filtering on a certain date. I'm setting in table the list of statements. I want to have all the statements, so I'm just putting the maximum amount, the maximum size amount of 500. Detail, blah, blah, blah. All of this is also not that useful. Yeah, this is just a logger. This is a small pause. This is a medium pause. because initially when I ran the script, I would notice that some of the screenshots weren't taken properly. So I had to, in order to mimic the real experience of a user, I would have to have certain pauses in order for the page to load properly. This is also a helper function. This checks if the file is good. It checks if we already have a screenshot because, as I said, I spent the whole weekend building this, and I already had some screenshots that were downloaded on my machine, but some of them weren't working properly. So I would every time manually remove these, run the script again, it would download them again, and it would continue in this repeatable cycle of breaking and fixing. This checks if the path already exists and whether if it exists. Is it a blank page? Because I was getting blank screenshots a lot. File exists, file size look real. If yes, we are skipping it. Let's run the script without redoing it. Everything, otherwise we are returning false. This function right here. All right, and here we are applying our filter statements because we have this drawer filter on top. We are opening it, then we are filling the data, setting the file size. Now, collect statement IDs. It's reading through each table row and it's extracting the IDs. The IDs are stable, and we can actually find, which is really good, we can find each row again using the ID. That's why I've been using the IDs, because they are part of the name. So I would save my screenshots as statement underscore the ID, and I will send them basically to my accountants or my parents. All right, let's continue. So collecting statements ID. I'm looking for all. First of all, I'm looking for all the table rows. I'm counting the amount of rows. I'm saying, oh, all right, there are so many rows in the DOM currently. I'm creating an array of IDs. And then in this range, I'm looking through the rows. I'm locating this specific element. I'm getting this specific attribute, which is the ID. And then I'm just appending it. Same thing here. Now, this is the core automation function. First of all, I'm building screenshot path. If the file is good, and this is the method that we have seen above, we are saying, all right, screenshot already exists and looks good. Otherwise, we are saying we are opening details from statement ID, blah, 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 blah. All right. And this is the main program right here. We are starting Playwright, and we are guaranteeing cleanup. I'm running Chromium. It's not headless, so I can log in. I could also automate logging in, but I didn't have any energy for it. Okay, this is actually a pretty big fix. I had to manually set up the viewport because I had a lot of clipping of screenshots. I had a lot of issues, to be honest. And also it would make screenshots consistent. And also here, I think somewhere, I'm reapplying filters every loop because they are not stored. Every time I would go back from, let me show you. So this is the table of statements, and here is the individual statement. So every time I would go back to the statements overview page, this list right here would be refreshed because the filters weren't working, and the filters are here. I don't want to open it, but they are here. So I had to reapply the filters every time I would go back. But in any port, just try to run script and see if we will get any screenshots right here. I already had them all downloaded, but let's see. All right, so it's filtering, open them all. It opened one, it took the screenshot, and now it's just gonna run all of this again. Let's see where the screenshot is now. Let's take a look at screenshot now. It's just gonna keep on going in a loop until it downloads all the statements. First of all, okay, let me stop this, clear this. And if I go to my downloads folder right here, if I open it, I see two statements and I see the names of them with the IDs, which is really good. And if I open them, come on, I see my statement for every transaction that I had. I might not go to jail after all. So yeah, that was just a little project that I've been working on over the weekend. Hope you liked it, and see you in the next video. And as well, I hope you like my wallpapers.